Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kat. I am a full-time coffee content creator and food blogger. And today I'm going to do just a Q&A so you can get to know me a little bit better. I did ask all of my Instagram followers to ask me questions for this Q&A video. So I'm just gonna go through them one by one, rapid fire, answering them all. Starting with, tell us why you quit your job. In April 2022, I quit my job. I was a full-time office worker at a medical university, and I just kind of felt like just a coordinator and not really someone part of the team. So I ended up quitting my job with the goal to be a full-time content creator. I love creating content and helping people learn how to make delicious coffee shop level coffee at home, as well as great recipes that are super easy. That's the spiel of why I'm a content creator. I have been creating content for about 4 years. I started my content creation journey about 4 years ago. I graduated from college in December 2018, and I just started posting a lot of nutrition tips and healthy food recipes because I wanted to be a health coach. And then it just kind of transformed into more recipes at home, trying to encourage people to cook more and eat out less. And this last year in 2022, it completely grew into a coffee loving community. So speaking of at-home coffee, I did make my own latte. This is an iced chestnut praline latte with Irish cream cold foam. It looks like I bought it from Starbucks, right? That's because I've learned so many tips and tricks for how to get your coffee to look, taste, and feel like Starbucks quality, but actually good. Starbucks quality has kind of tanked in the last year or two, and the prices have skyrocketed for the same drinks. So I said, no more Starbucks. I started researching how I could make the same drinks at home for much cheaper, and that's exactly what I did. And now I recreate Starbucks drinks at home. I create my own concoctions and flavor combinations, and I enjoy my coffee every single morning. And I only go to Starbucks once, maybe twice a week, because I genuinely do enjoy my at-home coffee more. Next question, best milk to use for different types of drink. I absolutely 100% think use whatever milk you enjoy the most. Whatever milk you typically get at Starbucks, that's what you should be buying at home to make your at-home coffee. I like 2% milk, 1% milk. The only time I'll use a different milk is if I'm using oat milk to make a brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. Same thing with the toasted vanilla oat milk shaken espresso. I'll buy oat milk for that and then, make that throughout the week. So that way I'm not wasting the oat milk. Definitely get one type of milk for the week and be set. You don't need 6 different milks and then they all go bad in your fridge. No. One milk, max 2 if you're wanting to make 2 different types of drinks. I haven't been receiving your weekly newsletter and I didn't unsubscribe. What happened? I have a weekly newsletter called Kat's Kitchen Newsletter. It goes out every Sunday, 5 a.m. Arizona time or Mountain Standard Time. And it has every single food recipe, coffee recipe, that I consumed that week because I like to give you guys coffee inspiration. I will link that in the description so you can subscribe to that. It's completely free and it's just meant to be a useful tool for you. What coffee grounds do you use in espresso machine when you don't have a grinder? You can absolutely use ground espresso. Starbucks sells espresso beans and you can have them grind that in store for you and then you can take home the pre-ground coffee. I don't necessarily recommend that because ground coffee can definitely change how your espresso tastes when you're pulling the shots at home. But if you don't have a grinder, it's totally okay to use pre-ground coffee. I just prefer to freshly grind the beans every day or every time I'm making espresso. How would you make a vanilla frappuccino using the vanilla Torani syrup, not vanilla beans? So for frappuccinos, I do milk, instant coffee or instant espresso, ice, and then I do xanthan gum and water. I mix the xanthan gum powder, just 1/4 teaspoon with water, and add that to the blender, and then I'll do vanilla syrup. Blend that all up, pour it in the cup, top with some whipped cream, and boom, vanilla bean frappuccino. Do you recommend getting a pump for the syrups so it's more accurate? I have mixed feelings about the pumps. I used to use the pumps and the syrup would get crystallized underneath and then it would be really hard to pump the syrup out of it. So I actually completely got rid of the pumps. But if you're someone that's using the same 1 or 2 flavors of syrup every day, every other day, then you won't be giving it that chance to crystallize on the bottom of the pump and it should be fine. So yes, if you're going to be using the same flavors, know if you have a lot of flavors and you like to mix it up, because they will get that crystallization and it'll be really hard to pump the syrup out. Each pump is about half a tablespoon of syrup. So if you do just want to measure it with a tablespoon, you can do 1 tablespoon and that'll be 2 pumps of syrup. 3 tablespoons would be 6 pumps. Is there a difference between steaming milk and microwaving it for espresso drinks? Yes. Steaming milk is warming it up and adding air bubbles and texture to the milk. So usually espresso machines have what's called a steam wand, and it's just that little piece that sticks out. You put it inside the milk and it spins the milk, creates some bubbles, aerates it, adds texture, and heats it up at the same time. The result is a really nice, smooth, velvety steamed milk, and you add that to espresso to make a latte. If you're just microwaving the milk in a cup, it's not creating any texture. There's no air bubbles going through. It's just heating it up. So when you pour that into your latte, it's not going to be foamy or velvety. It won't be bad. It just won't have that same texture as a latte. To get the same texture, if you don't have a steam wand or an espresso machine, you can put the milk in a cup in the microwave, do about 50 to 60 seconds, and then get a handheld milk frother and froth that milk for 30 to 60 seconds. Create some texture, some foam, some air, and you'll have a very similar texture to the steam wand milk. Just got the Breville Barista Express. I should always buy whole beans for this, yes? Yes, I highly, highly, highly recommend buying whole beans from Starbucks or whatever coffee shop you love, and then grinding the beans yourself. The Breville Barista Express is the machine that I have. It is expensive. And it's expensive because it has a built-in grinder. So I do like to buy the whole beans, grind them in the Breville, and pull your shots after that. Have a Breville Bambino. That one does not come with a grinder, so I do recommend still buying the whole beans and buying a separate grinder. You can get a handheld one or electric one for like $30 to $60-ish, depending on how good of one you want to get. But yes, for the Breville Barista Express, buy the whole beans, grind them yourself. Starter kit for homemade basic iced coffee. My favorite Starbucks iced coffee order is just an iced coffee sweetened with cream. So to make that at home, you would need iced coffee. You can buy iced coffee containers, the specific Starbucks ones from grocery stores, or you can make your own iced coffee at home. There's lots of machines that do like an over ice feature. Keurigs do it, Nespressos do it, all sorts of machines do an over ice feature. You just need to brew hot coffee over ice, and then you would need some kind of syrup. So Torani sells a cane sugar syrup that's very similar to the classic syrup at Starbucks, or you can go crazy and get caramel, hazelnut, vanilla, different Torani flavors if that's what you're into. And then I recommend cream, either heavy cream or half and half. Heavy cream is higher in calories and fat content. It is going to make your iced coffee really creamy and not watered down. Half and half is less calories, less fat content, but it is a little bit more watery and closer to milk. Totally dependent on your preference and what you like to drink. You could also do milk. Almond milk is going to be really low calorie. You need some kind of cream or milk to add to that. And then ice. I buy a bag of ice from Sonic. It's like, I think $150 or $250 for a big bag. You could also get yourself an ice machine, or you can just make ice at home, adding water to the ice cube trays, or whatever you have at home from your freezer. Will a Java sock fit a mason jar? Yes, this small size Java sock will fit a regular size mason jar, just like the small ones. And then their medium size Java sock is a little bit larger than this one. It'll fit like those tall, long mason jars. So absolutely. Java socks are the best. If you don't have one, you need one. It'll keep your iced coffee cold and your hands nice and warm. This coffee is like the bomb. Which syrups are your top 3? So coffee syrups, my top 3, hands down, vanilla, gingerbread, and brown sugar cinnamon, all by Torani. Torani is my absolute favorite coffee syrup brand. They have a ton of flavors. And Torani also has sugar-free options of all their flavors, or almost all their flavors. How do you make Starbucks strawberry refresher? I actually have a refreshers playlist here on YouTube that has that recipe there, so check it out. All right, so those are all the questions. Thank you so much for being here with me on this Q&A. Drop any more questions down below in the comments. Happy New Year.